friends. I love this time of the morning. Good morning, Father Neil.
Good morning, Gina. Your radiant smile is illuminating the studio as always.
Yay!
Yeah, yay! I love it.
Well, and I'm glad that you're in a good mood with it, because we didn't do confessions last week, but the week before, Gina joined us from away. And this was because she had a confession to make. If you've missed the video on this one, G, can you describe my face when all was revealed?
Oh my goodness. Well, can you try and reenact the face, because it was just it was
that was the
because,
face.
Father Neil, I had been rather naughty, but it wasn't just me. It was Helen Marie as well, because I had a message come through from Helen Marie to say that the quiz book had been left in the kitchen, and could we wind Tom up and get 5 out of 5? Because this quiz book, he doesn't leave it out of his sight. He carries it everywhere with him, but mistakenly he just left it on the side. Well, this message coming through was too good to leave alone, so of course I was like, yes. But Father Neil, it wasn't about cheating. Right. Initially, when the message came through, it wasn't about cheating. It was just about winding him up, and I think we did good.
No, pre-forgiven, Gina, pre-forgiven. Because it wasn't done with any sort of malice. Instead, it was the practical application of a lesson, teaching Tom to take better care of his possessions.
Teaching Tom not to trust. I remember being questioned when the book was in the kitchen. I was like, I should probably move that. No, it's fine. Because I trust my betrothed, or whatever the word is, to not go rooting through the book for the foundation of what the quiz is built on.
What would have been good is if she'd have photographed a few pages. That would have just given us a little heads up. But we needed it this morning, Helen.
They needed it, and it was eating away at Gina. So 2 weeks later, she had to come on whilst on holiday to confess. And she's already had the pre-forgiven. So she did have, she forced me. She was like, go on, you forgive us. Go on, go on, go on, go on. So we did end up with this. However, this morning,
have the tables turned.
Wow.
We're going to play it again.
Oh, I do love a confession.
Gina, well, first of all, if you've got a confession that you want the Council of the Breakfast Show and Alive and Kicking to try and absolve you of your sins, email it now, studio@purewestradio.com. We'll do this again next Thursday morning. But Gina, you've got a confession.
Well, yes. I'm just going back a few weeks, though. Do you remember when we were joined by Reverend Sophie? And we were talking about, I'd sort of said that in the night, when the dog wants to go out for a wee, she'll give a little bark at the side of the bed, and I am awake, right? So I could quite easily get up out of bed, open the door and let the dog out. But oh no, what I do is I wake my sleeping, snoring husband and say, the dog wants to go out. Shaking and making sure that he wakes up to let the dog out. It's because I don't want to get out of my warm bed. Well, the tables have turned slightly, because I had a confession this week. Cliff was telling a friend of ours of what he does in the night, right? So apparently when I'm fast asleep and our old cat, Rosie, decides to sleep upon my head, right? In the middle of the night, sometimes she gets a little fur ball.
I love where this is going. I love where this is going. This could be the expression of natural justice for the quiz. Go on.
So he was telling our friends that actually when Rosie decides in the middle of the night to try and cough up the hairball as a he smiles and grins to himself. Go on, Rosie, go on. Up until now, she hasn't managed to deposit
said hairball
on my head. However, he is desperately hoping that this is going to happen. And he's not going to remove her. You know, in the living room, if we're all in there, he'll remove her outside. Oh, go on, outside, time to go out. But when she's in that bed on my head, he just grins and cheers her on. Go on, get it out.
I tell you, the nocturnal malevolence between you and your husband just surprises me so much.
Whatever Whatever happened to sleeping soundly?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't sleep in our house. I'm
No.
afraid it just doesn't happen.
Oh my goodness. Right. So this is like a part 2 of what we've had before.
Yes.
It's within the same household. It's within the same room, the same bed of someone on one side who, a minor detail was left out, is the door side of the bedroom.
Oh yes, I am the door side. and the door is just because we sleep downstairs by the back door, so it's only a couple of steps away. I haven't even got to go up and down the stairs.
She gets Cliff up from the other side of the room. So you know what? When he's lying in bed and the dog hasn't given that little woof, time to go out, when knowing full well that if he did or she did, that he would have to get out and do it. You know what, Cliff? I'm on your side here. You can have your moment, your little grin. The thing will make you sleep more soundly. When that cat's up there doing his business, and you're thinking, "Go on, go on."
The thing that occurs to me is Gina has now mentioned that both she and Tom occasionally, not
Not
sleeping with
me.
Tom Cliff, sorry, that she and Cliff occasionally get some sleep. How does that happen with the dog going? The cat like.
Very good point.
You've got a menagerie around the bed making all these strange noises. But yes, I would say that there's a definite quid pro quo going on. And treat others as you would wish to be treated, oh Gina. Therefore, to mix my metaphors completely, your chickens have come home to roost. Cliff, you are forgiven. And in fact, I would laud and magnify your actions as well.
Lord and magnify. Go on, G.
It is going to happen one morning. There will be a photo, and I will make sure that I share that photo with you. It's going to be a wonderful occasion.
I can't wait because, like Father Neil, the quid pro quo, it's a 50-50. I don't know how any of you are getting sleep. So if you can get those moments of that little bit of smile in between the dogs and the cats, I'm all for it. So I too, I'm forgiving.
Yes.
So in this morning, we are down a Reverend Sophie this morning.
We are, yes, God bless her. She's off doing vicariing things. And actually, my heart goes out to her because she's having to spend the day in silence, which, if anybody knows Reverend Sophie will know, will be a true penance for her.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what she's done.
Wow.
So there you have it. So we've got 2 forgivens here. Gina, you're the kind of the person embroiled in this story. But if you're listening, Maria Sky is saying, let the antics commence as it's comedy for the rest of us.
What I need you to do, Gina, is get one of those apps on your phone that records during the night, the snoring apps. Because then we would be able to find out not only about you and Cliff's snoring activities, but also just how many times the dog woofs and the cat barfs.
Yeah.
There's not much sleep at all, I'm afraid. But on this thing, I've got to say that actually, usually I get a deciding vote to say whether forgiven or not. Do you know what? I've been asking for this. So I think actually...
I've been asking for
I have been asking for this. So do you know what? Cliff's within his rights to be able to enjoy this moment. It's going to happen one day. And go on, get her back. Get her back, cat.
Get her back.
Well, in that case, if there's no aggrieved party, if Gina's a willing accomplice in this act, then it can be nothing but forgiven.
I completely agree. So the Council of the Breakfast Show and Alive and Kicking.
The angels and archangels are spoken.
When the said activity does happen, though, I'm sure I won't be smiling just as much.
There won't be any of that. G, on our Facebook, we've had a comment.
Oh, have we? Oh, boiled eggs, Gina. Oh.
I like that Gina can just keep rolling with confessions week on week. We'll get in touch with you on studio@purewestradio.com. If not, we've got another one in the bag. Just with those 3 words.
Boiled eggs.
I wonder what that could mean.
There is always a story and always a confession.
Lovely. Father Neil, thank you so much for your time here this morning. You're on Live and Kicking on Sunday.
Alive and Kicking on Sunday morning, and the Reverend Sophie is back. We are in the bowels of PWR in Studio 2, and we're going to be talking about second chances this Sunday.
Ah, lovely. Second Chance Sunday follows Alive and Kicking later on in the day
there
as
we
well
are.
with H. So that's something for you to tune into.
Perfect plug.
There you go. So perfect. That's 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. You can catch up at purewestradio.com/catch up. We're going to do confessions again next week. We might already have the next one, but send yours in. We've got some letters to give out, Jean.
Yes, we have, with our Unscramble competition with Folly Farm. Stay with us to get involved.
Folly Farm.